Before Authority channel. I am Daniel Alexander Cannon. Cue intro.
I've got one that can see.
Logic before authority.
Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on Logic Before Authority, part of the TheSupernatural.Show network. Let's make y'all guys a little bit bigger. Why don't we? If I can. Normally how I do it. That is strange. Strange. It won't, don't want to make it bigger. See if I can Control ++. What I did. Control ++. Oh, there we go. It's working now. There we are. What's happening, Super Dave? Super Mike. Both the men on the ball. Anonymous Legion 4928. What's happening, brother? Hey, Susan, what's happening? Robin, you on the ball too. Nice, very nice. Today, guys, we're going to talk about, hey, Kathy, we're going to talk about some of the bigger projects that that Mr. T is currently promoting. Some promotion more than others on certain ones, but big projects that he is involved with. Just what is out there that we know, or at least there's information that you can find on them. And so we're going to take a look at some of that. And let's go ahead and do that. Got y'all guys here on the stream with me. Appreciate y'all guys being here. And let's see, where should we start? Of course, the title of this says Construction and Destruction Projects. Destruction, most of you probably heard, they destroyed the east wing of the White House, and because it wasn't fancy enough. Because Trump, he wants something a little bit more fancy, and so here is what they're planning on building. Okay, this part of the building right here, and the wing again. Okay, coming across, and this will be the galley, I guess, or the basically a big party room. I think I have a photo of it here. Ballroom. Yeah, that's what it is. Ballroom. This is what they're saying it's going to look like. Of course, this is an AI representation, but it's a big party room. And I don't know why they've got a what looks, oh, it's a podium. Okay, it's got a podium there. But this place is supposed to be huge, massive, and gold laden. Okay. Gold laden. Of course, we can see chandeliers, all this stuff. Of course, again, this is an AI drawing of it, or maybe architectural drawing of what they're planning on doing. And apparently, Trump is going to name it after himself. And that's not surprising, I don't think. He tends to like to name things after himself. Even when he really don't have nothing to do with it, he's going to name it after himself. And if you're listening, you might think I might sound anti-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm not anti-Biden. I'm not anti any of them. I just, I don't play their game anymore. I can see what they're doing. Another thing, too, is they're planning on building, apparently, some new arches. Okay. This supposedly is what they're planning on maybe doing. And they're going to name it the Arc de Trump. Okay. The Arc de Trump. Now, typically these arcs are their symbolism for a gateway. Okay. A gateway or a passage through to something else. And what this is representing ultimately is them bringing in the New World Order and bringing in the new system is what this ultimately will represent if they ever actually build it. Who knows for sure if they're actually going to ever do it. They probably will try. Although I suspect that DC itself will likely not be the control center, and it probably really isn't the control center even right now for the United States, because there's coming a date here around 2030 to 2033, somewhere in there, maybe 2035, where there's going to be no United States. Trump's already told us that, yep, the arch of Baal, basically, the ballroom, the Baal room, yep, you're right. You're probably not off much there, Visitor 4565, and I ask you again, when are you going to log in? So that way, when you send me a message, I know who you are. All I got now is a number. So, do me a favor. Even if you just get the free plan on the website, get it done, okay? Because there's coming a day when you won't be able to do this anymore, and I don't want that to happen to you. All right, or any of you. So, here's some of their grand plans that they're wanting to build. Big ballroom. Yep, the ballroom, big ballroom. And it is not, when you know these people and how they think and how they work, calling it a ballroom is not far off of the truth. And the Arc de Trump. Wow. This is an arc that is in, when you think of arc, think of the Ark of the Covenant. Now, it wasn't very long ago that Trump had the Ark of the Covenant at his Mar-a-Lago, right? At his Mar-a-Lago place, as you can see in a few of these photos here, like here. And now, which I think very big, but you get the point. Now they're building another ark. Okay. And again, I say, think of the Ark of the Covenant. Think of what this can represent. And as you can see, on top, let's see if I see another better example, but it has on top, it has a winged deity on top. You see? A winged deity on top. And two other winged deities on either side. This represents their god that they worship, which basically is many, many names for that god, right? The prince of this world. Okay. And then you have the two winged beings on both sides, just like the Ark of the Covenant. And then you have an area here. This is the gateway. This is the birthway. And to give you an example of that, if you look at these photos here, this is in New York City, the gateway, okay? It's Washington Square. Now, here's looking inside of it a little better. You can see out in the distance, right there, that's the One World Trade Center where they put man and woman back together again symbolically into one, transhumanism. You heard anything about that? But you could see the Twin Towers here before too as well. And the placement and the view of this ark here in New York City, it also has the winged deity here in the middle and all kinds of other symbolism here on it as well. I suspect that these arcs, the one in DC, the ones in DC that they're going to do, and the one in New York City, I suspect that some of these will be lined up where it will be you could draw a straight line through and connect these arcs, okay? Because that's how they roll. That's how they work. Now, I wanted to look at several other things that he is working on right now. For instance, the Trump wall, okay? Supposedly they've got 458 miles of it done. Some of it was redone. Some of it was just, new. Like 52 miles of it is supposedly new barrier that didn't exist before. But they've got plans to complete the entire thing, okay? And guess when they want to have it completed by? Take a guess. I bet somebody could get it right if they guessed when they want to have it completed by. Okay? Which is about 2,000 miles of wall. Okay? It says they want to have it finished, the physical border wall between the U.S. and Mexico, by 2029. Because they've got to have it by 2029 because of what's coming in 2030. I remember saying years ago, when they finish this wall, when they say that the wall is done, there's a big, big event. There's something really big that will follow right behind it, because we'll be secure then, won't we? We'll be protected from the so-called bad people in the South, right? When there's just as many bad people here as there are down there. And the bad people that are here and the bad people that are down there, most of them were influenced to become bad people by the system that's in place right now that they created. Because they want bad people. They want chaos. So 2029, so going into right there at 2030, they want to get it done by 2029. And if you haven't heard me say before, the wall works both ways. The wall will keep someone out, but the wall can also keep you in. And I would say the actual true intention of the wall is to keep us in from being able to escape to the south, you see. That's the way the dark side always works. They work in reflections, opposites, upside down and backwards kind of thing. And if they tell us the wall is to keep someone out, the wall is to keep us in. They're pulling out apparently all the stops in order to accelerate the construction of the wall. Okay. And they're, of course, going to have all kinds of security integrated into it as well. And if you look into it, the security it's not to watch in Mexico to see if someone's coming to the wall. It's to watch in America. Yeah, it's kind of like the ice wall. I see what you're saying. Visitor 4565. Yeah, the ice wall, right? Because it's ice, the immigration ice people. Ice wall. You're a pretty sharp individual, aren't you? See that? So the security equipment, all the motion equipment, and all the cameras, and all the AI towers and everything, because they've got a bunch of AI monitored towers that they're building. I think I have a slide here possibly on that. Yeah, autonomous surveillance towers, okay, where they've got AI watching the cameras, watching all these things, but they're only watching on this side of the wall. Can anyone tell me why that is? Why aren't they watching on the other side to see if someone's coming or trying to come over the wall? Yep, all glory to our Father in heaven. Exactly. Why are they doing that? It's because they're not concerned with what's coming to the wall. They're going to be they're more concerned with what we're doing on this side of the wall. You see, that's where all the security is at, on this side of the wall. If someone is already across the wall and into this area, they're already in. And yeah, the security may be able to dispatch somebody or something and be able to catch them. But why are they not watching to see that they're coming over the wall or to the wall from the other side? Surveillance towers, a virtual wall. The Electronic Frontier Foundation reports that of September 2025, there are at least 577 surveillance towers associated with sensor radar, aerostat systems along the border. And it's on this side of the border because, again, they're looking to catch us trying to escape the prison. I hate to say it because I'm in here with you, but I'm not going to lie to myself. Okay? And another thing saying that their goal is by 2029 of having that sucker finished. So that should tell you what's going to be going down in 2030. Some serious crap. When this thing hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious crap, right? Yep. As a matter of fact, let me go back, see if I pulled that image up of the White House. Did I get that? Let me see. I noticed that the buildings that are built on either side of the White House, they are in the image of 88. Okay. The buildings that are out past the east and west wing, the next buildings over, you can kind of see it, a little piece of it in this image, this picture right here. Right over there in the corner of that building back there. That building is in the shape of an 8. On the other side of the White House, there is an 8 also. It's 88. Trump in Gematria, which is the system, the Jewish system that they use to encode things, Trump is 88. Donald J. Trump is 888. He spent $88 million of his own money for the first campaign, they claimed. Then he raised 88 million toward his second campaign when he didn't win the second or after the first time. He had 88 generals. Supposedly his mother died at 88. The list is enormously long. 88. And of course, 88 is the number of the Nazi number, 88, which is HH, which is Heil Hitler. Now, if you don't know these things, I would suggest you to look into what I'm talking about, because there's a reason why all these things are being done like that. Either the Nazis and the war that they claimed that, World War II and what happened and all this, it didn't go down. They just wrote the history the way we wanted, the way they wanted us to hear it. The victor gets to write the history and erase what they don't want. Okay, also, he is involved in something called freedom cities. I think that's another word for smart cities, okay? But freedom cities. And they've got, they're saying they're going to build them on BLM land. They're calling it federal land. According to the Constitution, the federal government's not supposed to own any land, but they just manage it. It's the Bureau of Land Management. But yet they're going to build these huge cities on these locations, like in the outskirts of Vegas, Grand Junction in western Colorado, one near Boise, Idaho, one near Salt Lake City, one near Bend, Oregon, and some other areas possible. And then they have these smart cities that they're saying they're going to build, like in Tolosa, okay, near, it's in the west as well also, okay. They're saying it's approximately 235 square miles, and they've got a target of 5 million people to be living in this smart city. Belmont is another location the land is owned by Bill Gates. And they're going to build a smart city there, approximately 25,000 acres, 45 minutes west of Phoenix. Okay. And they're saying probably about 100,000 people would live there. 100,000? That seems pretty low. A medium-sized smart city. Okay. And then there's Babcock Ranch, which is in Florida, near Fort Myers. Okay. 18,000 acres, with plan to have about 50 to 60,000 residents. Okay. And it's currently under construction. Belmont is proposed, the land is acquired, and they're working on the plans. Tolosa, it's proposed, and they're still in the planning process. But the one in Florida is already rolling. There's another one in Florida, Lake Nona. It's in the southeast Orlando area. And it says it's got about 11,000 acres. And it doesn't say exactly what their projection is on how many people, but there's another one for you. And then they listed what they call more freedom cities, okay, which most of these are said to be in the West. I'm not sure exactly what difference might be between a freedom city, other than the fact that it ain't going to be freedom. It'll be digital slavery is what it'll be. They're going to try to pressure everybody they can into the cities using natural, invisible means. They'll use weather. They'll use anything that will seem to be natural in order to try to make it happen. So here's Hudson Yards, a mega development, and it's inside of New York City in Manhattan on the west side. says built over the West Side Yard, 10th to 12th Avenues, 30th to 34th Streets, about 28 acres. So it's going to be a, you might say, a mini smart city within New York City, and it's currently under construction. So they're already doing that one as well in New York City. This is Ocean X, okay, Ocean X. This is a proposed floating cities, okay, and claiming that they're going to be on the East Coast, okay, and supposedly kind of near shore or in areas where I don't know what they're thinking, like hurricanes can't hit them. I don't know what they're thinking, but it says modular floating neighborhoods, prototypes with potential to scale via linked platforms. Really? Okay. That's what they're saying. And then they're talking about some other locations like San Francisco, San Jose, Boston, Atlanta, Seattle, Chicago, Austin. And I'll tell you that even in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, there's talk of that they're turning it into a smart city as well. So I'm sure there are others that I'm not mentioning here. Now, I also looked at some mining, some of the areas where they're doing the mining at, the biggest mines and stuff. This one is called Thacker Pass Lithium Project. And when I started looking at all the different mines, I started to notice the pattern, which you'll kind of see here in a second. But this is supposedly about 18,000 acres, okay? And they're already in process of it, okay? And look at where it's kind of at. You can see here in a second. This is a large mound, okay? This is a large mound, basically like a mountain or a large tree that's been cut off. I know some of you don't know what I'm talking about when I say something like that. Think, hey, he must be crazy. But that's what it looks like, especially when you go online and you start looking at the topography and the actual photos of this area. I should have pulled them up for y'all guys, but I didn't. And it's called the McDermott Caldera. Okay. Remember what we talked about the ancient trees, some of them being volcanoes? Okay. Some of them producing, they have so much energy when you have a giant old tree that the energy is stored down in the root system. And that energy over time, sometimes it turns volatile and transmutes into something that ultimately creates heat and then explosions, which is a volcano. But this is the McDermott Caldera margin. And so what this is, again, is an ancient tree. And they're mining the tree is what they're doing. The stump. Here's another one called Big Sandy Lithium Mine in Arizona. And it says, doesn't say how many acres it is, but it's a large area. And if you look at it from the image, it looks like it has good potential to be another area that is the same kind of thing. Because if you have a caldera area here that it was an old tree stump, it would make sense if you're looking for lithium that the other place would be the same. See, this is just one little picture of the area, but this whole area, and it's either groups of trees, you might say, maybe they were smaller giant trees. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it all ended up working out. But one thing they are doing is they're going in and they're drilling for gas and oil first. And then they come back and then they mine. Okay. And I think that is seen in some of these other ones too. Yeah, like this one. This is the Idaho cobalt. Okay. Looking for cobalt. And it also says copper and gold. And all these minerals are minerals that come from the trees, the ancient giant trees. That's why all your gold nuggets in California were all back in the 49er days. They found them at the foot of the base of the mountains, all the big giant gold nuggets that were found. And because they came out of the tree stumps, and the tree remains as they wore down over centuries. This one is in, like, say, Idaho, northeastern or central, really, Idaho. And they basically come in and do the same thing. They will extract any kind of oil reserves that are there, and then they'll go for everything else. And it's the old trees that they're after, the old trees. Here's Stillwater West in Montana. Okay. And they're saying it has nickel, copper, cobalt, platinum, and other minerals as well. And a little map of the area. As you can see, again, that is in Montana. Okay. And here is Elk Creek Project in Nebraska. Yeah, I see what you're saying. 88 is probably his average in golf, maybe. So Elk Creek Project. I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm not fully on my game. I've been live now for 30 days, technically 31 days straight. I need a break. I'm going to get one here after today and tomorrow. My brain's tired. My body's not tired, but my brain is. Need a refresh, you know what I mean? Haven't been able to turn my brain off for a month. Southwest Nebraska, 65 miles southeast of Lincoln. And they're going after a bunch of different minerals there as well. And I would imagine, depending on the type of tree or whatever was there that is now petrified in the earth, it would affect, of course, the minerals that would be there. It would be different somewhat. So saying 7,800 acres that they're going for. Here is Santa Cruz Project in Arizona. And they're thinking it'll yield 3 billion pounds of copper. 3 billion pounds of copper. Wow. And of course, you can see that they're mining, like they've got fracking mines and gas mines and oil wells and all that in here that they're doing ahead of going in and digging up the earth and going after all the minerals that are there and making huge holes in the ground. And all of these projects, everything you see that I've shown you so far, or will show you, they're all projects that are being built in order to enslave humanity. Yeah, I said it. They're all being built. All this money's being spent. They're paying the people in order to build an enslavement for themselves. It's so insane sounding, but it is truth, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Well, guys, I hope you forgive me, but I'm going to keep today's show short. I've got a few things outside that I really need to try to do. And I appreciate y'all guys coming and hanging out with me for a little bit. And I promise once I get some rest, I'll be able to get back on my full game when I'm not having to go live every day. Just not getting any time off with my brain. And I need a little bit. So we've got 2 more days of the Superton. No, excuse me. Tomorrow will be the last day of the Superton of me having to be live. The fundraiser will run through this coming Monday. When I start the show on Monday, that is the end of the Superton fundraiser. That'll give anybody that gets paid in the beginning of the month, however that works. And people were asking if I would extend it a couple days, and sure. Yeah, copper is expensive, no doubt. Everything's went way up. Hey, Karen, I see you, darling. Hey, Laura. Hey, Robin. JFK. Truth Code. Diana. What's happening, Diana? I'm almost halfway to my goal for the Superthon, and I still believe that there's going to be some people come through to help me get closer to it. When I started all this out, I didn't know how I was going to manage to do 30 days live in a row, because I knew that was going to be a heavy, heavy task to put on, and I've never done anything close to it before. But I'm one day from being done. I ask y'all guys, however you can, if you can, try to help me reach that goal that I've got, and it will help us to grow what we're doing. Thank you, Diana. It will help us to grow what we're doing, and I will take this thing to the next level, along with taking care of a couple little things I need to take care of. Okay? I love you. Father in heaven loves you. And I'll see you tomorrow. We'll have the whole gang here. I'll try to see if I can't get a little extra rest for my brain. Bye-bye for now.